Hi, it's Heidi, your pottery pal, and this week we're going to be making garlic. No, we're gonna make barn garlic keepers. It is a garlic keeper, but I was like, I'm missing a word. So this is what we're gonna work on. This is the end piece, and let's get started. Okay, the first step I need to do is roll out a slab. Uh, Yes, you can use a slab roller. My slab roller is in storage, so I'm just gonna roll it out by hand. And so if you've never done that before, there's several different ways. I took the clay and I was starting to put it together, and then I was like, oh, maybe people don't know how to do this. So I just kind of squish it together. Some people use sticks as guides as they roll with a rolling pin. I don't do that. um, yeah, I just don't. And I'll show you why. I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so we're just gonna start rolling. This isn't gonna be a huge slab because I'm only making one garlic barn. And see how there's like a crack here? I'm just gonna take some of this and stick it in there. And I flip it, roll it. It's pretty consistent right now. The thickness, I'm gonna flip it this way. I'm gonna roll it. So it's pretty thick. And if I was gonna go keep doing this with the rolling pin, it's gonna take forever, right? So what I start to do is take the slab and just throw it at an angle, slight angle. And what I'm doing is I'm stretching it out. This clay is wetter than this clay. That is why it's doing that, but it'll be okay. I'm just gonna use the rolling pin a little more on the drier piece. And then what you can do, so when you throw it, right, I'm throwing it at an angle, so it's stretching. So if you want this portion to stretch out more, take that and just kind of throw it, right? And we'll do it the other way. See, it doesn't work as well, but here. See, now it's stretching more of that. It's getting there. Okay, let's do a couple more. And this is a lot easier, getting it started with the rolling pin and then throwing it. It also keeps it a lot more consistent. You don't have to be really strong to do this. I mean, if it's a huge slab, but. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with the rolling pin, even it out. Flip it over. Do that again. So when I push all the way through the edge, but I don't push down more at the edge. That's when you get it really inconsistent on the edges. All right, that looks good. Okay, so when I started this project, I made little paper templates. I think I actually recycled them to start. So I did like 3 of these and kind of figured out what worked. And then what I ended up doing is making these little templates out of craft foam. So like this, we're working on the garlic barn today. So this is the bottom. So that goes right here. And then I have 2 sections for the roof. One's a little bigger. When I construct it, I'll show you why. So I'm just gonna put those here. And if you can utilize the same cut lines, I like to do that. It just makes things easier. And then we'll put this barn. Actually, this barn's probably gonna have to go here because we have this barn. And what happens with this piece, you're like, what the heck? That doesn't look like a barn. I'm gonna cut the piece, and we're gonna bend it. So I don't have to cut this piece and this piece. I'll show you. And then that piece will fit just like that. All right. So next what I need to do, I'm just going to zoom in a little. We're going to start cutting those pieces. I just hold the piece of craft foam and cut through. Okay, so let's keep cutting. Same thing. Not a special knife. I was going to try and tell you what kind of knife. I guess it's just a hiding knife. I don't even see the name on it, but it's really nice and sturdy. I've had this knife close to 20 years, so I mean, whatever brand this is, good job. Oop. And again, if these aren't perfect, it's okay. Well, once we get it constructed, we can take our sure form and start to trim pieces, cut them down. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, now all our pieces are cut. Take all the clay we're not going to use, put it back in the bag. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to remove all these first. Okay, so we can start taking the scraps, putting them back in the bag. I'm just going to put them back, and then what I do is just spray them a little with some water. Just cut them down to the size kind of a slab of clay is, just makes it easier. Smells good. I love the smell of clay. I do. It smells good. I love the smell of clay. I love the way clay the way it feels. I do. It's funny because I cast a lot of stuff. I hate to touch casting slip. It's so sticky. I hate it. I'm gonna zoom out. So, I'm just gonna show you what the bag looks like. It's got the clay in it. Nothing fancy. Just seriously rip them. And I don't spray every layer. It's kind of overkill. But as I pick these pieces off, I am trying to not distort that too much, right? Because clay has memory. Clay has memory, so it means like if you mess with it too much, it'll remember that, and then when you go to fire it, it'll potentially switch. Potentially not switch, potentially kind of warp in that manner. Okay, so now we have our pieces, and I'm gonna transfer them to this board. It's just drywall. I'm just gonna very gently pick them up, set them on here. It's gonna fit. Oh, you can't even see it. Now you can. Now you can see the board. All right, put that last piece on there. Okay, don't need that anymore. Set that aside. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how I do this part, right? Okay, so what do we need? Some water and paintbrush, and we also need, I've just been using this double loop trimming tool. I don't even know if that's what it's called. That's what I call it. And all you're gonna do is, I just eyeball it. If you wanna measure it, you can. A little, just a little bit of water. And then, let's see, can you see this okay? I'm gonna adjust the camera. I don't want my hands to get in the way. Okay, so what you do, you just pick it up gently and you're gonna bend it at a 90-degree angle. Okay? And I'm just compressing. I'm gonna zoom in. And this is pretty wet, but it'll be okay. And then what I do, I'm gonna zoom out so you can see what I do to let it dry. I pick it up gently and I put it on the edge of the table, right? So it can hang at that 90-degree angle. And then I let that stiffen up and then I'll put them together. Okay? It's pretty cool. It works. All right. Okay, so I did the same thing to this one. This one tore a little. It's stuck. It's not stuck. It tore a little, but it's okay. We'll clean it up. Sometimes they do that. It's okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these parts dry out and then we'll assemble them and then we'll put the transfer on. Okay, so the little barn pieces have started to sit up. This is the base of the garlic keeper. So I'm just gonna set that aside. I'm gonna put these together and then we're gonna attach it to the base and we're gonna let it set up for a little bit again. Okay, so just gonna gently pick this up, and they're not leather hard, but they're pretty stiff. And I'm just gonna run this. Just wanna make sure the seam is nice and secure. I'm just gonna go over that again. And I'm gonna score it. With my serrated rib. So I'm going in one direction, I'm going horizontally, and then I'll go vertically on this end. I just find that if you kind of go in opposite directions, as the clay shrinks, kind of makes like teeth that grip. And then there's this one. We're going to do the same thing, just double check that corner. And I'm going to zoom in a little. Just back this up. Okay. And we're going to score horizontally on this end. And then vertically on that end. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little because I want to make sure you can see everything. I know I have a bad habit of cutting things off. Okay, so I don't actually use slip I just add water. Because I mean, you scored, so then you add water to it, so it kind of makes its own slip. And you're like, Heidi, that'll never work. It does. Trust me. Okay, so I'm going to attach these. And I'm just, can you see that? Let me go overhead a little bit. Hang on. Maybe. Okay, so all I'm doing is pushing, push, 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 right? Gentle push to attach it, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Same thing over here. Push, wiggle, wiggle, push, wiggle, wiggle, push, wiggle, wiggle. And I'm not pushing like this, right? I'm pushing like this. I don't necessarily want fingerprints, finger indents. Fingerprints are fine. Okay, then I'm gonna do something wild. Get ready. I'm gonna flip it up. And I'm gonna take my pony roller. I'm gonna compress that seam just a little more. I'm gonna also compress this edge. Okay, now we're gonna gently set it down. We're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna set it down gently, trying not to distort it, right? Don't want to distort it. Minimal distortion. Okay, now we're gonna take it, we're gonna set it on here. I purposely made the base bigger than it needs to be. I have found if I do that and I attach it and then I trim it once it sits up a little, it's less likely to crack. This could be totally wrong. I'm willing to accept that. All right, so now we're going to score. If you don't own a serrated rib and you're just using like a fork, do yourself a favor. Get a serrated rib. I used to just use like a fork. But these serrated ribs, Mud Tools has another serrated. It looks like Wolverine's claws. Those work really well too. Okay, and then I'm going to do something crazy again. I'm going to flip this up. See this? No. Zoom out. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut a line into this. Instead of running the serrated rib, I do this instead. I know it's crazy. It works. Less distortion. Okay. 20 years ago, I used to work for another potter and he did a lot of hand building. That's where I learned to do all this because that was my job. I had to hand build for him. Okay, so we're gonna take this. Now we're gonna set it on that area we just scored and added water to. And then we're gently doing that same thing. Apply pressure. We're trying to keep it square, right? Can you see that? Yeah, well, that looks good. I'll zoom in a little. Let me get a little closer. So we're just keeping it square. Applying pressure. Wiggle, wiggle. Now this, I'm going to be honest, this is a little wetter than I like to work. But it's Friday. I'm trying to get my YouTube video out. Right? So it'll work. It'll set up enough over lunch. Or just wiggle. Watch. You're like, oh, it didn't stick. It might not have. Or I might have stuck it too far. Oh no, it's working. See? It did stick. Okay, now normally what I would do at this stage, this is too wet. I will do it after lunch, I'll show you. I would pick it up, take my pony roller, and roll the bottom. Okay? I'm gonna let that sit up and I will do it later. Okay, so we're back and the garlic box has been sitting out dry. I mean, it's not dry, it's been getting a little harder. And the thing that I wanted to show you that I do, if it was too wet, is I usually flip it up and take the pony roller and push down this way on those joints. Okay? But it was too wet before to do that. All right, so we're gonna clean up the inside just a little bit. Let's see if I can show you. Okay. So just get rid of these little. I can actually do this with my. I really like. People are like, what's your favorite tool? Well, my favorite tool is my needle tool. This needle tool that I've had for years. Look how short it is. It's my favorite needle tool. My second favorite tool is my fingernail. So I just a lot of times just take my fingernail and I'm just getting rid of any score marks. Do you have to do that? No. No, just personal preference. And then down the bottom, I'm just going to take that wooden tool and just kind of gently smooth that out. I do not put a coil in these. I used to be a crazy coiler. And not that if you do coils, you're crazy. I don't mean it that way. I meant I put a lot of coils in things. And I found that if I didn't put the coil, I had the same success rate. So I just, took one step out. Just going to smooth these seams with my finger. Oh, can't see that. Okay. All right, now that's where it ripped a little. It's still wet. I can just smooth that out. How are these? That's okay. We'll fuss with that in a second. I want to cut the base down. So all we do is take our knife again and I just cut it flush. And I'm going to save these little strips for the lid. I'll show you. All will be revealed. I try and keep it pretty. When I cut, I try to cut straight, not at an angle. I mean, you could cut at an angle. If you watch these videos, you'll hear me say a lot, well, you could do this or you could do that. And that's because I make something a certain way. It doesn't mean you have to. And if you are like, oh, I think my way might be better, feel free to let me know. Right? We're all learning together. Okay, so that looks good. See the seams. And I'm just going to take my thumb, another favorite tool, and just smooth this out a little. Okay. It's funny making these, the first couple times it's like, oh my gosh, these take forever. But once you start doing it, it really starts to fly. I mean, relatively speaking. Okay. So that looks pretty good. We'll clean it up more later, but that looks good. All right, so now what we have to do is put the roof on. And I put the little roof pieces over on some hardy backer, so they would dry a little more, dry a little faster. So I'll show you how they fit, and then I'll show. Well, no, okay. I'll show you how they fit, and then I'll show you how I work the piece. So there's two pieces. One's a little smaller, just a hair. And that's because when you put this on, this one goes flush to the edge. Here you can see, flush to the edge. And then this piece overlaps slightly. Okay, and the reason I do that is so that there's a little ridge here and a little ridge here, so you can lift the top off your garlic house, garlic barn. I'm going to keep calling them houses, I know, but it's a garlic barn. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is I actually need to set those aside. I need to prep this surface. So I'm going to take my Sureform, and this is at a 90-degree angle. I want it at a 45 so that the lid is flush. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, the garlic barn, see, I caught myself. The garlic barn has holes in it, so I mean, it's not like it needs to be airtight, but just so it fits snugly. All right, so that's pretty good. So I just need to, those aren't, I just, let me clean these scraps up. The clay is just wet enough that these will all stick to it, and I don't want that. Just gonna set these aside. Okay, so let's put this back up here, and let's do the roof. So the first thing we're gonna do, I look at it and I try to see which side is flatter. So it's got a little wonk. So this side, this edge is gonna go up here. Okay. And like last time, what we're gonna do, oh, there's a gap there. Why is there a gap? Oh, this isn't, okay, back. Sorry. When I put this on, I saw this gap right here. I was like, oh, I don't want that gap. This is a little higher. So I'm just gonna trim that down. That should take care of it. Let's check it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put this here. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and then we need that red tool because we're gonna make a joint, right? So I'm just gonna cut it again. Okay, and I'm just gonna set that down. I can move this over a little. Okay, so there's that. And then the longer piece, this edge will connect to that joint. Okay, so these edges are about the same. We'll do this one. So we're going to score this edge to join the roof, which is our lid. Okay, so I'm just going to get some water on my paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint that. It's going to work. And here, I'm going to set this aside a second. I'm going to do it from an angle so you can see it better. How's that? That's pretty good. Okay. So I'm just going to line it up. And I'm applying the pressure again. You just run your finger back and forth. Be careful not to stick it to the board like I just did. Okay, how's it looking? Pretty good. Okay, then I bet you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pony roller. We're going to compress that seam even more. Okay, looks good. Smooth this out a hair. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to touch it up a little more later. The wicked angle. Okay. Okay. So now what I like to do is I'm going to smooth this out inside. You just cut it with my fingernail. I guess my fingernails are my second favorite and also my least favorite tool when they are too long and they cut into the clay. Okay, so what I like to do is add a couple not notches, a couple, oh man, what would you even call them? What would you catches? I guess, so that the lid doesn't fly off. Because look, here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's our little garlic. I'm going to zoom out just a hair. Okay, there's our little garlic box. You put the lid on, right? Looks good. But the thing is, you could just leave it like that. But I just want to guides. That's what I want to call them, guides. You could leave it like that, but I want to put a couple guides on here and here and here and here, so that it can move a little. But if someone picks it up, I don't want it to just slide right off. I used to make garlic keepers that were round barns, and it was super cute, but it was round and it was really hard to take the lid off, and people would break them, and then they'd ask me if I could make another lid, and really couldn't. So this, if someone does break the lid, I think I could just remake one. Oh, maybe. I could remake one. It might not fit great, but it would fit okay. Okay, so I made some little connotations on here. So this is how long the supports or the guides need to be. It's 1.5 inches. And then that's the roof placement of how far apart they need to be. So those scraps from earlier, all I'm going to do is take them and make some notches every 1.5 inches. And this is for the little guides. Okay. Just gonna cut these. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, this. This is 5 inches. So that's how far apart I would like them. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay. And then let's see. We have this tool out. We're gonna do our lines, right? Little lines. What did I not do when I made the house? I mean, when I made the barn. When I put the two house parts together that were shaped like this. I didn't do this on this edge. I probably should have, but I mean, it'll be fine. So here's what I'm doing, if you can see. How deep? Not very deep. 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Maybe not even that. Okay, so those are ready. And then we just need to start scoring the roof. Okay. Where's the paintbrush? Gotta just get a little water. Okay. And we're just gonna take these, same thing we've been doing. Apply pressure, right? It's gonna go right there. Apply pressure and wiggle. Wiggle it. Do you know that song? Do you all know that song? Wiggle it just a little bit. Come on and wiggle it. That's what you're doing. You're just wiggling it and applying pressure. And it is solid. Okay, let's do the next one. Same thing. I'm gonna wiggle it just, I won't sing the entire video, I promise. Wiggle it just a little bit. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Might not be appropriate for the video. That's nice. That's good. Okay, you can either take your finger, clean it up. You can take that wooden tool, clean it up. It's up to you. Just getting rid of those score lines. We're going to flip it. We're going to do the same thing. I don't need to mark this side because I'm just going to match it up to that first side. I had my first event at the new studio last weekend. I didn't have a video last weekend. And it was okay. The power went out. We had like, so I live in the country in Michigan, and if someone sneezes too hard, you lose power. So it was raining really hard and a tree fell, and we just got power to the barn last Tuesday. Again, wiggle press, wiggle press. And it was last Sunday. We were in the barn. The first person showed up for the tour, and boom, it was that loud, boom. And a tree fell, knocked the power line down. Had to call the energy company, come and take care of it. They were able to restore the power the same day, but it also rained so much that the driveway became mud soup. So that's another issue to think I have to figure out. Okay, so here's our lid. Still kind of see these marks. I can really see them too much because this is that speckled stoneware. It hides a lot. Okay. This is good. It's looking good. Okay, so let's test it. We're going to put this on. Oh, I'm going to zoom out. Oh, sorry. Zoom out. Put the lid on. Pick it up so I can show. Oh, look at that. Looks good. Check. I'm going to check the other side. Oh, good. Okay. So now, I was making one of these earlier, and I already thought of it, maybe an easier way to modify what I'm about to show you, but I'm going to show you this way. But in the future, I might do it a different way. I'm just going to take the lid off. Oh, what is that bug? Sorry. That is funny. I'm in an old chicken coop. There's bugs. Lots of bugs. Okay, so I made this little template, the garlic barn side. And this is to show me, I'm gonna zoom in, where I need to put the holes. I have a square hole punch. You might have seen these before. They're actually really cool. You can use this end to make a notch on tile. Punch out the hole, use this punch, and then this pushes it through. I'll show you. So I made this template so I would know where to put the windows to the barn. And I just make, not pushing all the way through, I'm just putting the mark where they need to be. And I'm going to take this down and I'm going to brace behind it. I'm going to push. I'm going to pull this out. And then you just take this. Boop. That's it. Super easy. But what I was thinking about doing, what might be easier, is when I cut this piece, and it's the piece of clay. You're going to use your imagination, this piece of clay. You put this on top of it while it's flat. Hang on, you can't see this. while this is flat, put this on top, cut the holes, and then you know how I showed you to trim this and bend it? I think that might be easier than this because then I don't have to worry about distorting it. So the next time I make these, I'm going to do that. Okay, back to this. Just think it might be easier. Pop it out. Oh, back to the studio. So it's a lot of work. If you're going to build a new home studio, holy cow. It's a lot of work. It's going to be really nice, and I'm really excited. But I think it's going to, I was hoping to have it done in October. It's not done. And I was like, well, maybe we can have it done in December. I don't think it's going to be done in December. We're trying to finish the rest of it ourselves to save some money, and we both work full time, so it's hard to rally after work to go and work on the barn. So I think I'm going to shoot for February. But if you're going to Ensika in Detroit and you live to the west of Kalamazoo and you're driving through, you're more welcome to stop. It should be open by then. All right, let's do the other side. Oop, it doesn't matter if it's upside down. Okay, same thing. Just gonna make the little marks. You could just push through. Just, I think it's easier if you can see it better, but it doesn't matter. When I say it doesn't matter, I keep thinking, am I telling you all that it doesn't matter, or am I trying to convince myself it doesn't matter? Probably a combination of the two. Okay, so we're getting there. These are soft. Still soft. But we still need to put the transfers on these. Oh. I really like barns. Have any of you ever seen that? Well, it's perfect for this time of year, Halloween coming up. The kid that they're interviewing him for Halloween. And what do they say to him? Something about, do you like Halloween? And he's like, I like turtles. That's what I felt like when I just said I like barns. I do like barns though, particularly old barns. Okay, so it's looking good. We're gonna put the lid back on and we're gonna let it sit up for a little bit and we're gonna clean it and then we're gonna put some slip on it and then we're gonna, I just wanna make sure it's square. Yep, looks good. And then we will put some transfers on it. Okay, we're back and the garlic barn is set up a little. Oh, yep, the lid comes off, good. All right, so now we're just gonna clean some things up and then we need to paint some slip on it and then we need to add the transfer and we're done. Yep, this piece takes quite a bit of time. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I'm gonna zoom in. All right, so got a little, I don't know if you can see, it's not straight. We're just gonna clean this up just a little bit. So when this hangs over a little, we'll just clean that up. We're gonna take our little Sureform. Just scrape away a little bit of that. And we will also straighten this up a little. Straighten this up a little. Straighten that up a little. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll go over here to this seam. Just kind of clean it up with our finger. little bit of water. Little bit of water. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna take, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I don't know. I'm gonna take the pony roller and see. I'm gonna use the rib. I thought, let's try the pony roller. Actually, I think looks better. I'm just smoothing that peak out a little. Still got a little divot there. So I'm just going to take the rib and just kind of line that up. There, that's good. All right. I just want to check the fit check. Okay, just because I took extra off, I want to make sure I walk around. That, oh, what happened here? That it still fits? Oh, okay, there. I just want to make sure it still fits so it was secure enough on here that I could lift it up. Okay, so the one I did earlier, I just bought this tool, the Edgy. It's a collaboration, I think, between Mud Tools and GR Pottery Forms. And it's pretty nice. I'm not a super tool person, but this is pretty cool. So on the last one I made, what I did was I just took this and gently went along the edge. It was easier than sponging it. I only did it on the lid. I don't even know if I'm using this right. I'm sure it probably helps when it's easier when the clay's wet, but I can't build the roof if the clay's too wet. So, all right, so that looks, let's see, just go over this one more time. Looks decent. Just gonna set it aside. We'll go back to it in a second. Oh, that's still really wet. Oh, dang. Okay, well, we will make it work. Be gentle. Okay, so let's see, we need to clean up these seams. I'm just gonna gently use my thumb. I can probably zoom out here. I'm gonna use my thumb, clean these up. Okay, so see how, oh, look at that. There's a little residue, not a residue, but an imprint left from the bowl making tool. I just wait until it's dry and those punch out really easily. Just use like a needle tool and run it along the edge, interior edge. So I take that rib again. And again, this is really wet, so yeah. Usually I don't make this whole thing in a day. I meant to do it yesterday. But it's been a week. What was going on? Oh, I had to go to the doctor. I'm fine. I'm fine. I had to go to the doctor just for, my annual wellness check. I'm fine. I mean, I guess I'm fine. I guess my blood pressure is fine after blood work, just normal blood work, nothing out of the ordinary blood work. Okay. Now that I've told you my whole life story, we can continue. Again, just cleaning up that bottom connection. You can mess with it as much as you want. the potter that I used to work for. The one that I was talking about earlier that I learned that I used to hand build for. He retired this past weekend, so tomorrow I'm going to go pick up some equipment that I purchased. And ceramics equipment is always so darn heavy. Oh, that's what I'm up to tomorrow. Hope it doesn't take all day, but I just have to see what happens. Yeah, I have help. I couldn't lift. I mean, I'm strong, but I can't lift a kiln. I mean, I can lift my test kiln, but I can't. I mean, have I lifted? I have a Scut 1027, which is a 7 cubic. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Not alone. Not alone. Don't pick up your kiln alone. When I was a younger person, worked at a golf course. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but whatever. Worked at a golf course. I had to go fill up the water jugs that were out on the course. And a lot of times they used, I don't know if they still do this, but they use like railroad ties around golf courses to mark the beginning of like a new hole, like near the tee box kind of thing. And I was like, oh, the golf cart will clear that. Golf cart did not clear it. I tried to lift the golf cart. Don't try and lift a golf cart, please. Not by yourself. Spoiler alert, I couldn't lift it by myself. Okay, that looks great. It's nice and cleaned up. And let's check this again. This ridge is still a little wonky. That's better. Okay. And then I just want to, any clay crumbs. Just like stage a weather hard clay where it just like sticks back to itself. You can brush it off, but it also sticks back to itself. And the only reason I'm doing this is I'm going to paint a thin coat of slip on here. Now, normally I would just wait until this was a little harder to brush this off, but it's Friday afternoon. I'm getting hungry. Actually, it's Friday, almost Friday. What? I don't know. It's 5. Is that evening? Early evening. Okay. So, just going to clean these. I think I've said this before. I do take studio cleanliness pretty seriously. Last year I was getting a little, I don't know if I said this in a video, but I was getting a little nervous that because I've been doing this, I took my first class 30 years ago and I've been doing it professionally for almost 20 years. I was like, I should get my heavy metals tested. And they're okay. My barion's a little high, but it's normal high. So yeah, but other than that, it's okay. Okay, so let's start with a thin coat on this. I'm just going to do a really thin coat. I know if you watch these videos, I talk about I like the slip really thick. Well, this first batch of barns that I made, I think that I put the slip on too thick. I'm pretty sure because it bubbled in spots. So Went back to a little thinner. Thinner application, and I actually watered this down a little. And because this is ceramics, it'll probably just bubble anyway. You know? Oh my gosh, did you all see that crazy thing online on Instagram, Ceramic Casualties? I don't know if you follow them. I don't know if you have an Instagram account. I'm not telling you to get one if you don't have one. But there's this account called Ceramic Casualties, and this guy he fired his kiln, and I think the kiln was only like 6 firings old, and he used advancer shelves, and he didn't dry them out properly. I think he put kiln wash on it. It doesn't. The thing is, you're not supposed to get advancer kiln shelves wet, and if you do, you really need to dry them correctly. I don't think this gentleman did. It blew up the kiln. You have got to see it. It is insane. It is insane. He's very lucky nobody was in that studio to get hit by the projectile. Now, advancer shelves are fine. They are. Just got to be really careful and read those instructions. I mean, they blew through the kiln. It's crazy. Anyway, you should, if you haven't seen that photo or the set of photos, I recommend it. But don't get scared. That's that's not normal. That is the exception to the rule. I've heard all kinds of horror stories about. I'm not going to repeat them. I'm not going to scare anybody, but most times things are fine. Okay. We have the slip on our garlic barn. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. The slip's got me locked in. I'm not setting anything aside. All right, I'm going to set this aside. And now, I think I'm done with most of these tools. I need the pony roller. All right. Set the water aside. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. I know I keep checking, but when I edit these videos, I really feel bad when I'm working on stuff and y'all can't see it. Okay. So we're gonna be working with the rice paper transfer today. This is a rice paper transfer I designed and I had made, and you can purchase these on my website if you're interested. I have 4 designs. I'm thinking of making more designs. It's really fun to make these or have these made. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, remember we have all those templates, right? So let's put them to good use. We're gonna use the templates to make to cut out pieces for our garlic barn. I think I'm gonna need another transfer though. Oh, maybe not. Oh. You know what? I bet I'm not going to need another transfer because I can put another barn up here. Okay. So what I'm going to do first, the roof, I'm just going to make it one big piece. You'll see. Because I'll just lay it on the top and fold it over. Okay. Can we see that? Can I see that? If I can't see it, you all definitely can't see it. Okay, So then we're gonna I'm gonna do this first. Do you have to be this precise? No. But for these pieces, it does seem to be easier for the garlic. The for the garlic barn. I did also make. You know what? I'll show you when we're done. I also made the barn into a butter keeper. I think I need to sharpen my pencil. Okay, and then we're gonna do this house. It's just, is it gonna work out? I'm gonna do it like this. There's the end right there. Okay. So we got our parts. We got our pieces. Now we're gonna cut these out. Okay. And then I'm just gonna cut straight down. So there's the side. There's the front. We're gonna do another side. You know what I need? What, Heidi? What do you need? I need one of those self-healing mats to cut these out. This is silly. I'm gonna get one because I don't have a self-healing mat for this, and I think this would save a lot of time potentially. I have a self-healing mat for sewing, but that doesn't help me right now. If any of you have one of those self-healing mats, I guess for paper crafts before, let me know. Let me know if you like it. Okay, we did it. Good job, team. Okay. Can we see everything? Yes, okay. These are feeling okay. Bring these back. And we're gonna start with, I'm actually gonna do it. I'm going to do it. I'm gonna apply the transfers this way so you can see. I can make sure that I'm showing you. Okay. So, oh my gosh, that's wet. Oh, that's not. Oh, yes, it is. I need the heat gun. Actually, heat this up. Okay. That should be okay. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. All right. We're going to start with the end. And we see this. Do a little adjusting. None of you get like seasickness, motion sickness from me moving the camera all the time. Okay. Oh, look at that. Fits perfectly. You knew it would, right? You did. Okay, I'll let that sit. And we're gonna do one of the sides. You know, I just thought of something too. We were talking about the sewing mats. If I didn't cut that off, if I kept this as one, the pattern could continue like a shirt, you know. I'm not that good at sewing to know how to do that, but I know that's like a more difficult technique, more advanced than it is a more advanced sewing than what I can do. All right. Okay. Take our little rib. Test it. Nope. I have found you can really smear these. At least I can. I don't know if any of you smear rice paper transfers, but I'm pretty good at smearing them. All right, let's check it out. This is good. Oh, it's cute. Cute, cute, cute. It's cute. Have any of you ever seen the Grandma Moses checkered house painting? Now, it's based on a real house. It's red and white check. These barns remind me of that painting. I also really like Grandma Moses because I could be wrong, but I know she didn't start painting until later in life, and I really want to say she didn't start until she was in her 80s. And I love that. I am a firm believer in you're never too old, it's never too late. So, yeah. There's your pep talk for today. You're never too old, it's never too late. All right, let's see how this looks. This is good. Okay. Just want to make sure this side's pretty dry before I flip it up. It is. All right, we're going to do this side. I think these YouTube videos are important. I think some people think, oh, you're giving your secrets away. It's not why I'm doing it. I'm not afraid of giving my secrets away. I think the reason I do it is to teach. I don't teach a lot. To connect. But it's also to show people that handmade ceramics takes longer than you think. And like, I do this for a living. I try to be efficient. I mean, this takes longer. All these projects I do with you take longer because I'm talking and I have to, think and talk, and I'm not a multitasker. So there's that, but handmade ceramics takes a while. Where's my little red tool? I just want to check it before I compress it. Maybe. Oh yeah, I'm gonna compress. Compress, compress. Compress, compress, compress. You know, I was talking to my mom the other day. My mom is 86. It's very funny. And she I was she had this weird thing. This is what happens when the demo is really long. I just talk about anything. She had this weird thing that happened about 10 years ago. Her blood pressure got so high that her brain swelled up and she had a seizure. And since then, her memory's been really weird. But so some things she can't, and it could be some like light dementia too. But I'm not sure. I've asked her gerontologist, and he thinks it's called Prez, more the Prez than anything. Anyway, what was the point of it? Oh, compression, compress, compress. You all remember having to wear pantyhose? Oh my gosh. If those never come back in style, I will not be sad. Oh, I hated those. I also hated wearing slips. Like, never mind. That was so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off. I just think it's ridiculous. Like the slip. What was the point? So you couldn't see through your skirt? So you couldn't see legs? Like, that's all you're going to see? That's so silly. Well, of course, there's legs in there. Anyway, okay. I'm going to pull this. Oh, it looks good too. All right. I'll stop rambling on about odd things. I actually like that it doesn't line up. I think it would be cute either way. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna switch these. Okay, now remember, I'm gonna put this on a band-aid. Okay, then we can spin it. Okay, so we have the big piece that we cut for the roof. All right? Just make sure we get it lined up well. Okay. I wonder if I put rice paper transfers on wrong. I don't think so. I used to use these a lot more. I used to make my own. So I used them a lot more. Okay. There's the roof. So what I have found with these transfers is once the sheen, you see that, yeah, you can see the sheen when I go like that, leaves, you can compress it. If I were to compress it right now, I would smear all that black. I don't know if they use underglaze. Whatever they print with, I would smear that right now. This looks, actually this side, I don't see any sheen on this side, so we can compress on this side. Just gently. the other reason I started doing YouTube videos is because I wanted to do like slow pottery, which goes back to what I was saying about how handmade pottery takes longer. Like I do a lot of shorter videos, but those make it seem like, oh, look, I made this thing in 40 seconds. Ha 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 ha. It does not take 40 seconds. I really like compressing like this. It's very like therapeutic, like meditative. Like people say throwing on the wheel is. All right. Oh, sheen's gone, so we can compress on this side. Oh, it smeared a little. It'll be all right. Oh, it smeared more. It'll be okay. All right, let's test it. Oh, it looks good. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. Probably looks the best yet. See, oh, the smears. That'll be okay. The other reason why I'm not too worried about it is because this is speckled clay. It hides so many things. If it was porcelain, you'd see that smear. Okay. Let's set the roof on there. And let me line it up. Make sure it's kind of hanging. Look at that. I'm going to drop the camera down so you can see it. Look at that. It's so cute. So I'm making these. These will be up for pre-order in November. It's kind of like a little fundraiser to finish my studio. There's going to be butter. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. Hang on. I'm coming back. Really? I'm coming back. I'm also making. I'm just going to move this. I'm also making butter dishes, barn butter dishes. The base. This is just the prototype. I'm going to change it a little. I think the base is distracting to this cute little house form. So I'm going to be working on that too, but I just wanted to show you that. It's the same form like we made, right? But instead it has a base and this whole barn is the lid. So anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend. If you have questions, leave them below. I'm back. So this was the finished piece. I was going to go, this is the first, well, this wasn't the first one. I made a bunch that I didn't even fire because they didn't turn out well. But this is where I said like the slip that was thick started to peel. But it's really cute. This is what it's like finished. Garlic will go in there. Put your little lid on. And it doesn't shift too much. Yeah, it doesn't shift much because it's got that gritty stoneware. So anyway, this is really it. Have a good weekend. Pottery's better with a pal. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I'll see you next week. Bye.